go from this to this. Side note, this video is designed to go as fast as possible. Don't be afraid to pause and stop to see what I'm doing. Let's begin. Oh, by the way, I split the color workspace into sections so you can see everything happening all at once. If you haven't already, click on Elementary Scopes, right click, make sure your waveform is checked off, and then go to waveform type and make sure it's set to Luma. My first goal is to get the waveform to be almost touching 100 and almost touching 0. I accomplish this by bringing down the shadows and bringing down the blacks and bringing up the whites and bringing up the highlights. Notice how it adjusts the waveforms accordingly. If your shot still feels too dark or too bright, you can adjust a little bit of exposure, and I like to add a little bit of contrast for some flavor. Because I see log 3, I like to add a little bit of saturation, head into the creative tab, and add a decent amount of vibrance. Now head into the curves tab and add a nice little S curve. Scroll down in the curves tab to hue saturation curves. Use this little dropper tool to choose a color that you want to make stand out more in your shot, and then drag these dots up like this to make the hue of that color more saturated. Scroll down to the HSL Secondary tab. Use this dropper tool to choose an area of your image that you want to make stand out more than the other colors. If the subject in your shot is a person, typically the skin tones of their face is a really nice area to highlight. Click the box next to color gray. Play around with these little triangles here. Expand these triangles out until your color is properly selected. Then invert it and then add denoise and blur to further smooth it out. You can uncheck color gray and now drag this slider just barely down to the teal area. This works super well if your subject has like orange skin tones, so you have that super cinematic teal and orange color scheme. But now, check out your final shot, compare it from before and after, and ooh, that's a color grade right there.